What's up, YouTube? My name is Troy Devlin. I'm an integrative nutrition health coach. I specialize in weight loss. And the reason that is because I used to be a big fat. I kid. But I don't kid. At the same time, yeah, I used to be big and fat. And that life sucked. And I wouldn't wish it on anybody. And I'm sure that there are some people out there right now who feel like they are stuck in that place. Maybe you know someone that is struggling to lose weight. They've tried everything. Like I'm not talking about the people that they are just doing everything wrong and they know that and they don't want to make a change. I'm talking about people who are struggling. They've tried every diet in the book. Probably many of these people go to the gym like every single day and they struggle, and just no matter what they do, they're just not they're not losing the weight, and they're not achieving the look that they want. And because of that, they're in pain. And I just want to help those people because that was me. And and you can break free of that programming. I promise you, 100%. If you're watching this video right now, I know that you can do it. So if you're interested in that, or if you know someone that might be interested in losing some weight and they're motivated and they're struggling and they've been struggling a long time, I would ask that you connect them with me. I would have them subscribe to my channel. Please subscribe to my channel. Help me out. Help me spread the message of health and wellness. And let's take a look at this thing here, guys. I mean, weight loss. What are some ways that we can sort of change our mindset, maybe put some ways of, let's just examine our way of thinking about this. Are you guys okay with that? Maybe we could just take a look at concepts in weight loss, and that's what this video is going to be about. Now, I have a question for you. Here's the question. What's more important, your dreams or your excuses? And I talk to people every single day. People come up to me almost every day. Someone asks me a question as it pertains to basically fitness. A lot of people will ask a question on how they can change their diet. And I'll ask them, what are you eating? And they'll tell me what they're eating. And oftentimes there's a few things that I notice that they could change, cut out, eliminate. And people will make an excuse for anything that you tell them. You tell them that, I noticed that you told me you're drinking a lot of soda there. Maybe we should replace that with water. And what we have to be careful of is the ego. Well, boom, come up with an excuse as to why we have to drink that soda, right? Well, it's not a lot of soda. Well, my blood sugar gets low, so I have to. Well, it's only Mountain Dew. Well, here's the thing. What's more important to you, your dreams or your excuses? So the reason I'm asking if you are open to maybe exploring things with a new mindset or looking at things differently, the reason I'm asking that question is because that is the key to affecting change. Remember how I told you guys I was big and fat and it sucked? Well, it's not like I hadn't tried to change that. I didn't know how to do it. I was telling myself the wrong story. I needed to approach things differently or look at things differently. I didn't know what was possible. So how do we open ourselves up to change? How can we create the environment where there's less resistance? Change, in my opinion, has a lot to do with decreasing resistance or friction, making things easier. Guys, I'm like the least motivated person, okay? I don't just have like this stream of motivation that comes to me through the ether. I don't have that. It doesn't exist for me. I don't ever feel like working out or doing anything. So it's like I need to for me to be successful, it's really about mindset and the story that I tell myself. So again, the question that I would ask you is, what's more important? Your dreams, losing the weight, or your excuses? Well, because my blood sugar, well, because, this doctor, you can find any doctor will tell you anything. And there's a lot of confirmation bias there, right? If you ask enough doctors, eventually one of them is going to tell you the thing that you want to hear. I'm sure that if I, looked around, I could find a doctor out there that could give me a reason to justify drinking soda. But, if I'm your health coach and I just, not even recommend, if I suggest like, hey, it's possible you could be eating too much. Oh no, it's impossible. There's no possible way that my diet could be the problem here. My diet's airtight. Oh well, then there's not much that I can do for you then, as your health coach, right? Because oftentimes, if people are struggling with their physique, it really has to do with what they're eating. And if you're not able to take a look at that because there's so much resistance that you immediately shut that down, then I don't want to say that then you can't be helped, but it's going to be really hard for you to make progress unless you take a look at that. So we just want to create the conditions where we're able to take a look at that, so that the change that we're striving for can occur. So your dreams are more important than your excuses, and a way to sort of like get around doing the excuse thing as a protective mechanism, because we're not judging. I'm not judging. I come up with an excuse so that I can justify whatever it is that I want to do all the time, right? Because that's what humans do in our brains. But if we're trying to reach a goal, then one way around that sort of protective mechanism, I find, and you can explore this if you like, is something called curiosity. So approach things with what they would call a childlike curiosity, and that is one of the ways that you can sort of tamp down that protective mechanism that sort of pops up sometimes of making excuses whenever we encounter any kind of like resistance on the path to our goals, which again, for the purpose of the video is the weight loss, because I know you guys can do it. So don't give up, y'all. If you're watching this video, I know 100% you can do it. If you're watching this video, I was thinking about this earlier. You are so far ahead of everyone else that is not watching the video, because other people they're not even aware, right? They're just their protective thing comes on, so they can't even look at the fact that they are overweight and that they're unhappy with that. And when you're unhappy about being overweight, but you don't know that the reason that you're unhappy is because you're overweight, then it's really bad, because it affects your relationships and it'll affect the way you think about yourself. And just so you guys aren't there. If you're watching this, you're not there, and that means you're awesome. So to sort of push on and to make progress here, let's approach things with a sense of curiosity. Childlike curiosity. You cannot learn something that you already think you know. So approach things with the mindset of like, I wonder what this will be like. I got into doing the cold exposure. You guys can see some of my videos there where I do cold exposure. And I'm a wimp, right? So how do I approach that? I approach it like, let's see how this is going to go. I don't force anything. I don't tell myself, I'm going to get in the tub and stay in for 10 minutes and I'm going to look really tough on the video. Because if you do that and the experience doesn't live up to that weird expectation you set, then it like becomes a negative experience. So don't shoot yourself in the foot that way. Approach hard stuff, which is what this is. We're trying to lose weight. Okay. Approach hard stuff with a sense of curiosity. I wonder how this will go. Because oftentimes things we're afraid of, it's when it really happens, like when we get into the ice bucket, we're like, oh yeah, that was pretty intense, but it wasn't really what I thought it was going to be. Like pain, a lot of times we imagine, right, is a lot worse than really what we're experiencing if we're being mindful and present. which are some other things which we'll kind of talk about in some other videos. This is mindfully fit, right? We take a mindful approach, or just really being present, and what that is individual for everyone, because we all think differently and we all experience experiences differently. But again, curiosity. I wonder what this will be like. If I'm lifting weights, I don't tell myself I have to lift 4 million pounds today at the gym, because if I go to the gym and I try to lift 4 million pounds and it's just not there for me, and I try to force myself to do that, it'll hurt my body, right? So it doesn't make any sense to approach things that way. I approach with, hey, I wonder if I could lift 4 million pounds. Oh, wow, I almost did, or I got it, great, or no, I wasn't quite ready to do 4 million pounds yet today, whatever it is. But curiosity, guys, so explore that, okay? And that's really it, right? What's more important, your dreams or your excuses? We could come up with 100 excuses for a reason why we can't try something, like maybe cutting back on our portion sizes, or maybe like we stop drinking soda and start drinking water, right? Maybe being a little mindful of our carbohydrate consumption. We can make up all kinds of different excuses why we can't do those things. But in the end, are those excuses really more important than actually losing the weight, which is what our goal is? And a way around those excuses, which are just there to protect us, a way around that would be to just approach things like a child might. I wonder what might happen if. Because I promise you that if you're watching this video on the internet right now, you're not going to starve. Okay, I'm not worried about you starving. We eat too much. We haven't evolved to eat this much. We haven't evolved to have access to the type of food that we have. And that's what we'll be talking about in one of our next videos. But guys, thank you so much for watching. Again, if this is helpful to you, if you can spread the message for me, ask your friends, family to subscribe to my channel. I'm sure that there are some people out there that this could help. So I thank you so much for watching, and we'll see you next time.